I'm drunk No, Curtis. It's 6:02 when we're not late. Welcome everyone to the Wednesday night live show. Tim, wake up, Timmy. Wake up.
Sorry.
Did you take your Ensure to get through the show?
I did. My Ensure and my Geritol.
Geritol, damn. Did you take your your one a day tablets for seniors?
No. Oh no, I took the prenatal one. Sorry.
That was work better. Those work better. They get you pumped up. Well, welcome everyone to the show. Everyone out there in chat, hello. Timmy's here. Lindsey's here and Michelle is here. And what we're going to talk about today, Atlanta City Council votes to regulate vape shots, set minimum distance from schools. I guess that's a good thing, right? I mean, the school thing, and they're actually keeping them open, so that's a plus. And then an article from Mr. Jim McDonald. Two courts in two South Asian countries shut down vape bans. So we're going to go through this. A little bit of good news, right, guys? I guess it's kind of good news. I mean, both ends. Yeah, I know.
Article from the New York Times today. So.
I didn't want. It was behind the paywall, so fuck you, New York Times. So we were a minute and 59 seconds in before I said the F word. So that's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay.
Paywall sucks.
Do we have to get in there before we say anything?
Yeah, go ahead, say it.
No, how long do we have to be in before they cancel?
At least a minute and a half. Yeah. At least a minute and a half. Yeah.
Where's my finger? Rules for he, not for we.
You could do that. The old, the old pranker up one. Yeah. Yes. So, Timmy, how is your week going? And make it snappy, boy. I want to go through these a little faster than normal so we can get to the topics.
Yeah, I feel like you're forcing me to tell my life story like a punk song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to beat?
Exactly. Anti-establishment. No, I had a great weekend. Thursday out for fireworks. Friday, we went to a show and drank. And then the rest of the weekend, we kind of chilled. We was just kind of laid back. So nice. I don't know. Not a whole lot to report. Not a whole lot to report in HOA land.
Yeah, summer concerts, everything's great, man. Best time of the year for concerts.
HOA land, like homeowners association.
Yeah,
I am the unelected de facto president right now.
Yeah. Hey, the perks of being home ownership, baby.
What has the world come to, Lindsey? Yeah. Right?
I don't know. That sounds as being like kind of like being a volunteer board member at a vape trade association.
I'm exactly the HOA president you want, because I'm totally fucking laid back. I'm like, just don't fuck people shit up, all right?
Yeah.
Who cares about the noise ordinance? Well, they're complaining. Now you got to keep it down. You're like the cool RA.
I don't levy any rules or laws.
He is.
That's me. That's me.
The pool is taken care of. We got a management company for all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I got my heavies. If you want to get kneecapped, you go right to HMS. Yeah. I got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he's negotiating for the golf cart though. He wants the golf cart. So
yeah. You need to go for that.
I want to be like Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of that city in Detroit, and just use everybody's money to get shit.
He wants the golf cart with one of those lights, like the cops have on his car, and a clipboard
and a
holder,
big flag, and everything.
Yeah. Lindsey, how's your week going, Lindsey?
Week's going good. Finally, I took a month-long vacation in the stratosphere. It's really hard to hold your breath. Sorry. But yeah, I took kind of like a month off for mental whatever and everything. Now I'm getting back in the saddle again. Content's on THR 101. I got to do some testimony for some stupid bills coming out of Massachusetts. And yeah, no, everything's kind of groovy. Got to go down to Central Florida and everything. So it's just kind of, I got a to-do list of a bunch of stuff. So, and it's always fun hanging out with you people too. So I'm getting THR 101 more exposure, baby. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So thank you always for letting me be on the show. You know?
Oh heck, you're an official member now. You're official. You can't leave us now. You're official.
We're sending you the contract tonight.
I'm getting inducted. Nice. Okay. I want my Dakota ring. All right.
If you ever watch The Big Bang Theory, Tim is our Sheldon. He will put together a contract for you, Lindsey.
Oh God, something tells me it's gonna be like that, but combined with like Vampire Diaries. Okay, I need that drop in your blood. You ain't going nowhere.
We need we need a fingerprint and some blood samples, but you're in. You're in.
Yeah, I need to do that for my business paperwork.
Michelle, how's your week going?
It's going pretty good. Something she may not know. I'm the fine committee person. So yeah, that's why I was saying the rules and regs are my deal.
Yeah, we'll have you and Tim put the contract together for Lindsey.
We start calling her Karen.
Please don't. They only come to me now. I don't write them, so they only come to me. That's it.
And Michelle, are we going to see you on TikTok as that angry HOA
no, I don't
Karen?
Even have TikTok.
Okay, no, well, not you. Everyone else.
Jack, have you seen the misinformation that's going on TikTok right now? I don't have TikTok, but I guess
vaping has been like vaping.
It's bad.
I've been seeing it everywhere.
Yeah. Well, apparently Lisa kind of figured it out that they think Truth Initiative is behind it.
Yeah,
and paying these people to do public service.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
that was my opinion.
And if you're on TikTok and you see those, don't just scroll past them. Share the information that you have in the comments. Don't be
TikTok. And once I finish the 50 states, it's been a month in the making and everything. I'll make a TikTok page, but
every time I see one. And every time I see one, I go straight to the comments, and I want to say I am actually pretty proud of what I've read in the comments, because a lot of people in the comments are going after
speaking
up and saying it's false information. Where did you get your information? A lot of attacks back at whoever's posting. So that's a good thing. So don't scroll past them, dude. Open them up, go straight to the comments, and write something in there. Even share link to one of our studies. So just don't scroll past it.
THR101.org.
Yeah, throw that in there. Yeah, don't just scroll past it because you're mad. I share that information that you have in that, and you'll be surprised when you do open them and you read them. There is a lot of hate for whoever is the publisher of that little video nonsense that they're putting out there.
Well, I think that these whoever they're whatever marketing genius at one of these freaking companies, it's like, yeah, let's do a TikTok campaign. We'll really get the kiddies. Not everybody is on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean,
but don't you think that's more of the friggin' forbidden fruit thing? It's like, ooh, we're gonna tell you something's really bad for you again now, and then they're gonna go, ooh, I want it.
I'm waiting for eggs to be bad again.
Kid vaping up, all right? Because
exactly
is that kid vaping is at its lowest levels ever. Smoking is pretty much non-existent among those group of people, and everything. And yet there's still all of. I mean, I guess they got to keep the money going. I mean, it just reminds me of a lot of debates in America: gun control, abortion. You can come up with a solution, but there's way more money to be talking about this.
Yeah. Well,
there's a good article out tonight. Or today that was on X about that.
Yeah. Well, I hate saying, I'm not trying to be political either way, but the Democrats have figured out that they need to start using social media a little bit better and understanding how it works. That's why you're starting to see a lot of liberal Democratic podcasts starting to pop up. They're starting to try to get some people in those podcasts to compete with Rogan and the rest of the crews that are out there. So when I noticed that was starting to take place, that's when I noticed that TikTok has also been, hammering us as far as vaping. So we'll get into that. Timmy, say hello to I see a new name out there too. Say hello to everybody in chat, Tim.
Yes, hold on. Sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time.
Oh, I know it's tough, man. As you get older,
It's weird. My body starts to have all these sort of contorted reactions when I try to do two things at once. You know,
try chewing gum and
so
doing
I
those
specifically for this act, I had to stop typing it in order to talk.
Yeah,
just so I could create some semblance of a sentence. So while I finished typing, you could kind of hear my knuckles crack. Can't you hear?
Yeah.
Don't
it's
you
the
hear
frontal lobe. Your frontal lobe's
closely.
getting weak, hey.
It sounds like, hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Wednesday Night Live Show. If your knuckles sound like my knuckles, then we can make a knuckle sandwich. I don't know what else to say for that one. Let's see who's in the chitty chatty. We got a brand new one out of the gate. We got one of our trusty members out of the gate here. We got Robert, not on a billboard, lawyer in the house.
Hey, Robert.
Wanted to check and see if John was awake. So to play along, I pretended like I was asleep at the beginning of the show. So John was awake. I was.
Yes, I was.
We got Curtis, the King Clemens, in the house. Curtis, pointed out that he sent me an article about how bad disposables are for everybody. I read about 2 sentences of it, and it seems like the same regurgitated bullshit that we've been reading for the last handful of years. But if we have time, John, we can touch on this article.
Yes, we will.
Yes, sir. We got Don Shirako Ayako in the house with his brand new Olight devices. I told him about the Olight flashlights not that long ago, and he got a little kick down from his company. Got some free money he could spend, so he went out and got himself some flashlights. Yes, sir. Very cool. Who else we got in here? Hold on. I saw a new name in here, and I thought about it for a hot second. So we got Edward. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Woodward in the house. Oh. Edward, how are you? He said hello from Brazil. Edward, did you know that my wife is Brazilian? Yeah. So I was like, where are you? What part of Brazil are you from, good sir? She's from Rio. Well, originally, she moved to Rio from Niterói, and then I gotta see if I could say it correctly. Where she was born was Cachoeiro de Itapemirim. That's where she was raised. She lived there until she was a year old.
I'm going to stop you before you give everybody her social security number. Okay, easy. You just described every place she's been. All you need now is a birth date and a social security number.
Oh, and I missed somebody real quick. He snuck in there real cute. Like, we got Microwave. Left you on 1 second of it, and now good to see you, Microwave. But at any rate, yes. Oh, he's Sao Paulo. Okay, so you get involved in the whole bolacha biscoito argument, right? Biscoito. So if you're from Rio, it's biscoito, and if you're from Sao Paulo, it's bolacha. And apparently, you're wrong. I'm just saying. I got a Rio wife, so
those people.
Don't argue with my wife, Edward. You're gonna lose every time.
You're gonna lose. You could send her an Italian flag and an Italian T-shirt. Yeah. She loves that.
And we got Steve, Emoji King Tottenham, in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
And I will say hello.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for joining. Join in the conversation.
Which one you want to do first, Mr. Timmy? Atlanta, or do you want to go to South Asia?
Well, hold on 1 second, John. I think let's do Atlanta, just because I'm from the area.
Yeah, you're
so
right
I'm gonna show favoritism and
bias.
Exactly.
For Atlanta.
It may not be confirmation bias, Lindsey, but it is bias.
I've never really met anybody from Atlanta who actually enjoys that place. So.
I didn't say that I enjoy driving to the city.
Right.
I enjoy being in the suburbs on way the heck out on the outskirts. I'm 45 minutes outside. I'm on the northeast side.
So away from the loop.
Not so bad. No. But if people say, where are you from? And I say Buford, they won't.
They go,
I just say Atlanta.
Buford. Is that a town?
Don't dox me, everyone. I just said where I live.
People say, is that a town from the Andy Griffin Show? Okay.
No, we just have a bit.
Every southern state has a Buford. Okay, there's Buford, North Carolina, and like one of the Nicholas Sparks books is based in there.
Yes, you just pull into my town. There's a big blue dog that sleeps in the middle of the town.
It guards the whole town. Yeah, it guards the town.
I like blue dogs.
Hey, it keeps the riffraff out of there, Timmy.
Buford. All right. Anyway,
You got like a sore thumb out there, though.
right, so let me share.
You got a Barney Fife out there too, or what?
Well, go.
I used to live in a Oklahoma town that everybody there, it was named one thing. Everybody called it Mayberry because it was so little. You know, we had one little street that was 2 blocks long and one restaurant on it, and I mean, it was such a little bitty town. Everybody knew one another, so we all called it Mayberry. Yeah.
What I loved about Barney is he had a gun, but he only had one bullet. One bullet.
What was Barney's chick's name? Thelma Lou? Wasn't that her name? Thelma Lou.
On
the box site phone, he had
he
had to call through to the switch operator.
Yeah, there's only like 3 women on that whole show.
Thelma Lou.
There was 3 women on that whole show, dude.
Otis hanging out in the cell, kicking off his drunk. You know, he's trying to drive. Yeah. All right. So what happened in Atlanta? What happened in hot Atlanta? Atlanta City Council votes to regulate vape shops and sets minimum distance from schools. So I wish they wouldn't have this.
Tobacco shops already have that going on. Do you know?
What's that?
Like a distance requirement to the cigarette shops. I mean, are you allowed to sell cigarettes down the block from an elementary school?
I'm not entirely sure about that specifically because I've never seen a vape shop within 1,000 feet of a school to begin with. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't get talked about because nobody's really crossing the line anyway. Now the effect could be different in the city where it's more compact when you're in Midtown and stuff like that, where there's a lot more, stores, city type living where things are more compact. We're here, no, nothing.
Sorry.
All right.
Swing.
So Atlanta, the Atlanta City Council has voted to regulate vape shops and set a minimum distance for those shops from schools. The council established a minimum distance of 1,000 feet between vape shops and 1,000-foot distance between vape shops and elementary and secondary schools or daycare centers during its meeting on Monday afternoon. Let me read that one again.
Yeah.
A minimum distance of 1,000 feet between vape shops. So don't look, if I put my vape shop up, don't you dare put your vape shop closer than 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
That's like a store away.
Not very far.
Vape shop, barber, vape shop. That's how it should go.
That's about it. Yeah.
Actually,
the ordinance defines a vape shop as any business whose main products for sale include alternative.
Actually, it's a little bit farther than that, guys. It's 333 yards, so that's like a par 5.
Okay, all right. So
or
vape shop,
field.
barber, plushie store,
pet store,
vape shop.
Well, let's throw a nail salon in there.
It's a par 4, not a par 5.
Okay, all right.
It's got to be a nail shop in there somewhere.
There's 100 of those in this.
Par 4s are. It gets rough. Par 4 is pretty long. That's several city blocks. Okay, that's a Walmart between them. You put a Walmart. You can have a vape shop on either side of the Walmart.
All right,
that works.
All right.
Can we have like a vape? Can we have like a vape shop garden center?
I mean, I'd like a vape shop boutique where I can go make my own liquids.
I need some Mexican mango. I need a Mexican mango dispo and some pave stones. Y'all got that? Yeah. The ordinance defines a vape shop as any business whose main products for sale include alternative nicotine products, consumable vapor products such as e-liquid, e-juice, vape juice, and pre-filled cartridges or consumable hemp products, and makes up at least 35% of the business's sales. I'm confused. Is e-juice not the same as e-liquid? Somebody help me here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
For me. Yeah.
Sorry, e-liquid, e-juice and vape juice.
Is that all the same?
All the same.
That's what I said.
They're covering their bases. They're covering it.
Take your pick.
It just shows you that journalism is, really shitty these days.
That's it, John. That was the article.
That was it. Yeah, it was a short article.
It said read more. Read more.
You've seen a lot of that legislation on, keeping vape shops, away from. It's just honestly, it's a feel-good proposal.
Right.
It's like Chicken Little. The sky is falling and shit. No, the kids are vaping. I got to do something about it.
Yeah. I like the fact that they're not considering shutting them all down. That's why I wanted this article. It's kind of a good article. They're keeping shops open.
Honestly, I don't think Atlanta could I don't think they have the manpower to sit there and go confiscate all the illicit, products that you'd have on the market if you shut everything down.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons.
Philadelphia trying to shut down vape shops. Okay, have fun.
The TV on my wall is for when I have this is a whole studio. So there's like 3 chairs here and 4 microphones. And when we're doing our other show, that show's playing behind me. So that's why there's a TV behind me and high up so they can see it.
I got a computer right here. That's what I'm always looking at. I don't want to get too close up here or, be like, have you ever seen America's Sweethearts?
Yeah.
That's really great with Christopher Walken, the juice.
Yeah, and then there's a full bar on this table, so as well.
Nice. I'm going to California next time to do the podcast with you in studio.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I got to give a shout out to Peggy at eSig Source Vape Cats. She now has the longest username in Wednesday Night Live show history.
But actually, she's in Florida too. So we got 3 Florida ladies in the house.
If anybody's interested, we got Kroger and Publix. Those are our 2 little main joints. That's our little main joints.
And alligators.
Yeah, we got Sprouts, we got Whole Foods, we got other shit.
Let me ask you, Lindsey, real quick. And Lindsey, let me ask you. You brought up, the manpower in Atlanta. Are the numbers in Atlanta? Are they? How do I put this? Are they good as far as it comes to teen vaping in that area? Or what does your numbers show for that? I'm trying to figure out why. I understand the differences between one city and another city. One wanting to ban it, the other one to keeping the shops open.
You want me to? I'll give you a stab. I'll take a stab at that. Because there's not a lot of pressure on the vape shops right now. It would seem like it's a real easy business to open up. And I think it's just about saturation, right? The more vape shops you have saturated into an area, then there would be inclination to have more avenues for kids to get it and stuff like that.
Well, Georgia also is done, and I'm realizing now too, Georgia did not participate in the youth risk behavior survey, so I don't even know if they even, and that's the statewide survey, so I really highly doubt that Atlanta actually did it, unless they got some public health, did it or something. So, and that's what pisses me off with this. If you're so concerned about youth vaping or whatnot and everything, then why aren't you actually surveying them?
Doing something, yeah.
And also, why don't you listen to the survey data too? Consistently, every single freaking survey sits there and says that the number 1 reason why kids vape is feelings of anxiety, stress, and depression. Flavors are bottom.
Fourth or something.
They're like 4th from the bottom. No, they're not even that high up. It's like 43.4% of kids cited anguish or whatever feelings and shit. That's why they used a vape. 13.2% had used them because of flavors.
Yeah.
Flavors are attractive. And they're using flavored vapes, but so are adults, and adults are using. It's a hell of a lot better than a fucking cigarette. So
I'm curious: is marijuana legal in Atlanta and in Georgia too, Tim?
No, we don't have dispensaries. You can get the CBD stuff. You can get that. I don't know about I know there's all this new stuff out like 7.0 and all this other stuff, but I know you can get
Delta.
We don't have proper dispensaries. But the CBD, the Delta stuff, you can get.
You guys have medical marijuana though, right?
No. We don't have medical, no. But
South Carolina, Jesus Christ.
Well, what's interesting is that you can obtain a medical marijuana card in the state of Georgia, but we don't have dispensaries that I'm aware of. There may be some under the table shit going on that that's probably happening. But we talked about this not that long ago, because I was under the impression that as long as you possessed a medical marijuana card, you could exit the state and come back in with it and you wouldn't get in any trouble. But then I read and like, no, that's you cross state lines with marijuana. It's a problem.
That's a federal offense. At that
so
point.
I don't understand the connection. Like if you're going to tell people they can have a medical marijuana card. Now, let me further that by saying, so the band that I work with, the keyboardist, Joel, is battling some cancer stuff right now. And so he was issued his card, and I asked him, I'm like, well, so like, can't you just go get like, cause he's like, oh, it makes such a big difference because he's doing like tinctures and stuff. And he's like, it makes such a big difference. You know, it allows me to kind of just stay even and flat. And I'm like, well, can't you go just get like the CBD stuff, like the 10s, the Delta 8s, 9s, and 10s. And that does sort of the same thing. He's like, no, that stuff doesn't really help. It leaves me too uppity and stuff like that. He said, but the tinctures were, so he's able to get something somewhere legally.
I wonder if it's his doctor that prescribes it and then gives it to him.
It could be. I didn't get that deep into it.
I don't know.
Yeah, because when I was reading, it says the ordinance defines vape shops as business holding meaning at sea, and it says e-juice, like you read, e-juice, e-vape, and they have consumable hemp products. So I don't know what that is. Isn't that pot? Or is that some CBD? What is that? That's why I was wondering if
hemp is the hemp is what kind of came out with the Farm Bill. That's why.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's why that's all exploded, is because of the Farm Bill, and also idiot lawmakers that don't understand marijuana at all, or THC, or any of them.
Yeah. You're right.
They don't understand nicotine. Okay. But well, let's be real here. They don't even know how to math and budgeting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking some things up here real quick, and I did find one place called, I hope I'm saying it right, Truliev or Truliev. It's in
Trulieve.
Yeah, so that is a medical
we have that here.
We have that here. That is,
yeah. So but I don't know,
and they
all
look
the
like
products.
banks. They look like, they look like banks. When you look at these dispensaries here, they're not attractive. They have no signs. There's no advertising whatsoever. There's like no marijuana leaf or any of that. They honestly look a little more like a clinic than a bank, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Like abortion clinics, to be honest.
Yeah,
it does. Because it's all like, blacked out and stuff. And yeah, we actually had to leave my car at one of them.
Yeah, you can't see in the windows or anything. I mean, there's nothing that tells you what it is. It's just
it's very corporate. You feel like you're walking into an iPhone store.
Yeah, right. I saw the picture of the building, and it looked like an optometrist or something.
Right. But here, anyway, where I live, they're everywhere, and we've got like 5 different dispensaries, and they're everywhere.
Yeah, they bought bank properties around here.
The first thing they do is they want your card before you can enter 3 feet into the store. I mean, they are right there. They are right there. And if you don't have it, then you're out. Doesn't make any difference if you're the wife or the husband of somebody who has one. You're out.
Yeah. Well, just judging by what I can find on their website, they got it all.
They got it all.
I must say this for the record. You Delta guys, I freaking get it, but screw you guys for sitting here and lobbying against the recreational bill for Florida last year, because I was like, that's the only reason I voted, was for that and the abortion one. I was like, yes, we're going to take like tourism to a whole new level in the Sunshine State and everything. But it was literally, we actually were getting mailers from Donald Trump urging us to vote in favor of recreational marijuana. And then we're getting a bunch of, it was the Delta guys, this huge organization that were like blocking it. And I lived in Illinois. I can tell you, they can both coexist. Okay. There's some people who can't do regular marijuana. There's some people who also can, can't do CBD and need the marijuana. And also don't want to sit here and have to freaking pay the state so much money and everything, to get access to it. Especially when you get it off the street anyways and not pay taxes.
That's right. There's always some guy out there with a trench coat full of. No, I'm just kidding.
Or neighbor,
I'm just kidding. He's wearing an AC/DC shirt from 25 years ago. He's got ripped up black jeans, and he's probably wearing Converse or Vans. and his name is either Skip, Chad,
Ethan.
Joey,
Austin, Joey. Yeah, Joey's a big one. Yeah, Joey, what you got, Joey?
Joey. Joey.
Joey.
2 for 5, 2 for 5, 2 for 5.
I got you.
And they're always hidden in his Marlboro pack. Yeah, that's the guy.
And he's using the cellophane, but that Marlboro pack's missing the cellophane. Yeah.
Let me adjust the price for inflation. They're no longer 2 for 5. They're 2 for 20. 2 for 20.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, I'll tell you the way that marijuana. I mean, like I find it fascinating, like how far nicotine has gone, like since 2007, with all these new devices and new products and everything. But marijuana has gone even fucking further, okay, with all this stuff and how more potent it is and everything. I mean, it's came a long way from the 70s. Oh my God, like I haven't seen brick weed in a decade, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I mean, I don't think it exists anymore. I mean, at least not in the States and everything.
Yeah. 200. Wow, is it really? Is that that's not yearly, is it, Michelle?
What?
For that, for your license, for your card?
Yes. Oh, no, I think there's 6 months. I believe that you get 6 months, and it's like $350 for your first 6 months for the first time, and then I think it's like half of that every 3 months after that, or every 6 months after that. You have to renew it.
Crap!
And then you have to go to the doctor, which charges you a minimum of $200.
Yeah.
Per visit to get. So you're going twice a year to the doctor.
Yeah, I'm just going to look for Joey. I'm just going to look for Joey.
And this still has pill mills, by the way. This is the state that was notorious for its pill mills, that people were coming down to Florida and then going up on I-95 and handing out pills everywhere. So the fact that they have so much restrictions on a plant and not on big pharma, it's just like, it's a corporate. I don't care. Don't tell me this is a free state of Florida. This is the corporate state of America. And when it comes to bud vices.
And microwave, you're right. Everybody knows a Joey. Everybody knows a Joey.
But from here, from my point of view, because I, live in a very touristy area, with that collects all these kids and things. I mean, they don't need to be doing all of that and drinking and everything else when they're the first time away from their parents, and had the freedom and all this kind of stuff. So it's hard enough for them to get to. That helps, I mean, it keeps them a little bit safer. There's always going to be death here. I mean, because of the kids and the way that
I'm kind of wondering, do they have, this is kind of a silly question because we're talking about the government here, but is there, do they actually show where that money is going? Is it funding something? Is it, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Medical marijuana program, and they need to fund it. There was compassion, and with them offering it to people, that's them giving people compassion.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's all going into the state budget.
That's what
I know that they just bought something stupid with it. I just heard it on the news 2 days ago.
No way, Michelle. No way.
No,
Something
seriously,
stupid.
it was. Yeah, I mean, even for Florida, it was really stupid. I can't remember what it was though, but it was.
Okay, it's funds, the revenue generated for marijuana, various state programs and initiatives, particular focus on the Office of Medical Marijuana Use, so it's funding the program, and then related regulatory things. So
it's funding the Lamborghini Aventador. It's probably
actually, but they did this. So I guess in 2018, the Sunshine State collected over $50 million in taxes and fees for medical marijuana sales. It's 2018. Wow. Which was used for public safety programs. Oh, so they used it for the roadways. Is what I'm reading that one as.
But a lot of those, you'd be surprised, it's because they're of their age. I mean, a lot of these people here are elder people who are smoking, and so they want to make it available, but those people don't want the teenagers coming here who are under 21 or under 30 or whatever, so.
Yeah.
But the elderly, they love it. I mean, because they don't hurt anymore, and they can.
Exactly. And for some of the elderly people, what I've noticed, it gives them that appetite back, because a lot of them don't eat. Yeah.
When a lot of their medication too makes them nauseous and really marijuana is not really associated with nausea, and most people who use it. So. No, and it's actually associated with the opposite. It's associated with the munchies.
And I've also heard them say that it makes them feel young again, because they remember. I mean, these are baby boomers, the older of the baby boomers, and that when everything was
in those
on
endorphins,
the street, and now all of a sudden they're getting to relive it, and their health is actually getting better.
Yeah, we heard all the stories of the senior citizen buildings in Florida.
I actually, and this is you're gonna laugh on this one, because you guys know, I knew dank vapes very well. I used them, and I had a guy at the pub, Schmitty, old guy or whatnot. He was I guess he was a hippie back in the day, but then he got married, got corporate, and all this stuff, and so he hit the pen one time, and then knocked him on his ass, and I was just like, yeah, old man, that's not the stuff that you were smoking in the 70s.
Yeah,
he fell in love with it, and so I had to go, I became kind of his middleman and everything and whatnot, and I was just like, oh my god, I just turned you back into being a pot.
Yeah. Lindsey sees him at Lindsey sees him at 7-Eleven at 2 a.m. buying Hostess cupcakes and a bag of Doritos and a slushy.
A big one.
Big slushy.
A big gulp.
Oh, Timmy, you're up. South Asia.
What's that?
South Asia.
South Asia.
Another good story. Another good story. I found two good stories.
This is my map around. It's over there, guys. Okay. It's over there.
Oh, no.
I feel like a weather lady right now.
Way over there.
It's over there.
Where on the map are we? No.
Where in the world is Lindsey's mind? Yeah, who knows?
All right. So, courts in 2 South Asian countries shut down vape bans. Shut them down. Get out of here. In 2 South Asian countries that share borders with India.
He's burying the lead here. I love you, Jim McDonald, but come on. What countries? You're talking about India, and that's not even the country. Sorry. I'm sorry.
In 2 South Asian countries that share borders with India, recent court decisions have put the brakes on government attempts to impose outright vape bans. As in India, which prohibited vape product sales in 2019. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The bans in Nepal and Pakistan's Punjab province were predicated on misplaced concerns over youth experimentation. Only time Nepal ever comes up in my brain about anything is the Golden Child movie.
The Golden Child, yeah.
Exactly. Nepal, confusion over the legality of vapes. There is debate, even within the government, about whether Nepal's existing tobacco control law prohibits the sale of vapes. A Ministry of Health and Population spokesperson was quoted in a 2022 news story saying there is no law specifically banning e-cigarettes, and the government has allowed imports of vape products and collected taxes on them. That, however, didn't stop the same agency's National Health Education, Information and Communications Center from announcing a ban earlier this year. According to Nepal's Vishwa News, the center issued a communication that cited the country's 2015 Tobacco Products Control and Regulation Directive as the basis for prohibiting the production, import, distribution, public consumption, and advertisement of vapes. Following the ministry's action, customs officials began turning away shipments of imported vaping products and a vape business. Vape Mandu traders filed a lawsuit against the government. The Patan High Court ruled against the government and ordered the ban lifted. The basis of the court's decision is unclear, as is the course the government will follow going forward. Nepal is a country of 31 million, located along the northeastern edge of India and south of Tibet. Pakistan's Punjab province, enforcement without a law. Punjab is Pakistan's most populous province, accounting for more than half of the country's 241 million residents.
Is that where we found Osama at? Sorry. Every time
Pakistan. It was in Pakistan, yes.
It was in Pakistan. Yeah.
Yes,
well,
it was. Yes, in a compound. Yes.
While we were giving them money, okay? It's like we were putting them up in a hotel room, courtesy of the taxpayers of the U.S. of A.
Yep. Dropped a couple Blackhawks in there. If the province were itself a nation, its 127 million people would make up the world's 10th largest national population. Punjab has 5 cities with populations over 2 million, including the provincial capital Lahore with 13 million. In early June, Punjab's Chief Minister Mariam Nawaz ordered a province-wide vape crackdown, including a ban on personal use, sales, distribution, and advertisement of all vaping products, and the closure of vape shops. Provincial authorities were instructed to enforce the ban strictly, according to PakistanIRA and the other news sources. The unchecked use of vapes among the younger generation poses serious health risks, Nawaz said. This decision has been made to protect our youth from long-term diseases and addiction. No restrictions were placed on the sales of cigarettes or other combustible tobacco products.
No.
Shocking. Over 70 vape businesses petitioned the Lahore High Court to overturn the provincial government's actions, and on June 24, the court issued an interim order allowing vape shops to reopen and do business, at least until a hearing scheduled for July 3rd. This most recent July 3rd.
Yes.
At the July 3rd hearing, the court ruled against the government, ordering no further actions to be taken against vape businesses without a proper legislative basis. There is no law in Punjab or Pakistan in general prohibiting vaping product use or sale. The lawyer defending the province told the court that a draft law banning vapes is currently in development, but High Court Justice Anwar Hussain rejected any enforcement against vape businesses without a law in place and noted that the government collected customs duties for the products being sold. So government likes their money. Yes, they do. Until a legal framework is established, no action shall be taken against the petitioners, ruled Justice Hussain. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
we got two feel-good stories, the government that's willing to listen.
Ironically, though, this is interesting that they levied rule against a situation that there really was no law against. That's that's kind of scary. You can't do it.
Okay.
It reminds me too, though, of like Vietnam when they went after because of the CTFK or whatever. No, the Philippines, yeah. So I mean, it's good to see Asian countries kind of doing a little bit more scrutiny, especially to these because I mean they're all LMICs, and you've got these Bloomberg groups that are a bunch of white people from first world countries that are coming in telling them how to live their lives and everything, where a lot of the time they don't even know the culture of it or whatnot, and why do people actually fucking smoke here? What is going on that's actually causing them to do this? Tell you, one of the things I did the numbers for India because I had a national health survey that the government did, and it was interesting to see how much they do smokeless use, but just the different states, because India has states, right? Mm-hmm. And the more, it's funny, it's looking at female versus male ones. So the more you go towards like the Middle East, where it gets more Muslim, you start seeing these major discrepancies between men and female, like tobacco use. Mm-hmm. And tobacco use, who knows that? Oh yeah, it's a great equalizer among the genders. I mean, that's why we have American cowgirls and everything, and they're totally smoking tobacco.
I like American cowgirls. Oh, I'm sorry, you were on a whole different subject there.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Today that women are who gave the world beer, and like Samaria are one of the first beer brewers, and you're welcome. You're welcome.
And thank you for the Daisy Duke shorts and the boots. Thank you, ladies.
Somebody spent a little too much time at Cowboy Ugly. Coyote Ugly.
Hell yeah, I got a belt buckle.
You dancing on the bar too, John?
No, I wouldn't get up on the bar, but
it's a hazard.
Hey, you forget, I'm one town away from the cowboy capital of the country. So just remember that.
Wait, you're from Laramie, Wyoming? I thought you were in California.
No. Oakdale owns that. Oakdale, California, cowboy capital of the country.
How the hell how do they own that? That's not.
It's like the first official rodeo. It's one of the first official. Some of the greatest bull riders come from that area. So it's a bunch of stuff. They have. You're gonna like this, Lindsay. every year, and it's coming up. And when it comes up, I'll send you the little pamphlet. But they have Rocky Mountain Oyster Day, and it's just piles and piles and piles of Rocky Mountain oysters, and they're like,
I
it's
love
like
oysters.
I love oysters. Yes.
No,
And
ladies, listen to what I said. Rocky Mountain oysters. You know what those are?
No.
Cow balls.
No. No. Jesus, no. I mean,
you
can't. Once. I mean, people eat them, but I'll try anything once, okay? So don't tell me what exactly it is, tell me after the fact. And like, oh, wasn't too bad, actually. I'll take another one.
Hey, Lindsey, it sells out every year.
Sure it does, yeah. I mean,
it sells out
I
every
totally
year.
forgot that, the California, actually, the fact that it went so liberal is really surprising, seeing that it was settled by people who rode the wagons over and spent 6 months on a freaking covered wagon going against rivers and Indians and,
my ex-wife's family is one of the first coven that came over in the covered wagons.
Really?
They're documented, their tour, the whole thing. Her side of the family is the distant cousins to George Washington.
Wow. See, okay, for our listeners, especially our foreign listeners, this is why American women are crazy. We followed our man to really weird places. We followed him across the Atlantic Ocean to Plymouth Rock, and we didn't follow him Jamestown Company. They actually had to bring women over because it's all men.
Right.
400 years later, we went and followed him again to California.
Thank God the women stayed away from the Oregon Trail because they would have been eaten, but they knew better than to go. They was like, you know what, it's cold up there.
I didn't go back from Eliza Downer. I don't think we should go down that one, honey. I'm telling you, just listen to me, babe.
Yeah, the Oregon Trail. You guys take on that one. We'll stay here.
Yeah.
I can't open the New York Times one. I don't know if someone can.
I don't have a
Is it on a Wayback Machine yet?
No. I wish I did. Because I go back to the 1950s. I think that's a great era. The men dressed cool.
I know. If I go back in time, I'd go back to like 1920s and bootlegging. I'd go live through the Depression and rob people and everything and all of that.
But the dresses were horrible. You would not like the dresses.
See,
they were frumpy. They were not cool.
Just for shit and giggles, I don't want to make this. I don't want to stir up crap. But like anytime someone talks about going back in time with a time machine, I get how easy it is for a man to pick a time. But for a woman, if you start looking back in history, there's really not a lot of good going on for you guys. Yeah. So like trying to pick a really good time to go back is pretty tough.
I'd go back to the mid 70s and that's it. Those were fun.
Yeah.
The flower dresses, Michelle, were cool.
The sexual revolution in the late 60s, early 70s.
Flower dresses were cool.
But most of those were very frumpy, very, very like bag style with a belt, and everything was oversized and flat heels. And
the article I was able to get it on a PDF.
Yeah. A lot of those were really bad.
Microwave,
dresses.
You're right. I mean, until you have actually dated an Italian woman, you don't know what crazy is.
I agree with that. And I'm a woman. So.
I'm pretty sure I got an ex-husband and a handful of ex-boyfriends that will, they'll be like, I don't know, Lindsey will put them from,
Yeah.
And it just,
what happened here, Timmy?
But Italians in general, Johnny,
power just went out and came back on, waiting for the internet to come back up. And his power went out. Italian woman. Then this Italian guy did the biggest mistake of his life. And I don't know who's German in here, but I married a German, full-blooded German woman.
I got German in me, by the way. I think women are crazy everywhere. I don't.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
I mean, my ex's mom was a Polish lady, and that chick was just bad shit. Okay, Hispanic women. I mean, look at Rosie Perez.
Yeah. Let's just say all of them. I'm with you.
I think, I didn't know the NYT article.
No argument from me. These are not the women you're looking for. These are not the women you're looking for. Oh, I went nerd right there.
We all can't be like me now, Johnny.
Yeah, I know. The women. I'm trying to just no, don't get into that, John.
By the way, fuck that New York Times article. And fucking lady, no, like literally, vaping is still less common than cigarette use among U.S. adults. 4.5% of who said they vaped in 2021. We have 2023 numbers, you stupid fucking cunt. On this one, nearly 8% of high school, and then, she's doing 8% of high school students, because I know 2024 numbers are going to come out, and we will finally have more adults vaping than youth, and I can't wait to do those numbers.
Yep.
I'm so excited about that.
I bet they hold off on those numbers for a while.
Yeah, they're only going to use statistics that fit their agenda.
And Facebook, if you're on Facebook, I can, here, let me download it on this computer. I got 2 computers going on. Kevin Gates has 2 phones. I got 2 computers.
You are.
I got 2 phones, one for the plug and one for the load.
There you go.
I was able to access it, so
I'll have what Lindsay's having.
I'm having a good time. Microwave. You should have a good time. You seem like a guy that's got a good time.
And Steve wants you to take over the dollar. So yeah, there you go. Your picture on the dollar.
I can't add this. There's no way for me to add a file in this chat.
Percent. Oh, what do you want to do?
Present? I can present.
Yeah, you can present. Yeah.
Hold on, let me open that up.
Hello, darkness.
My horns not on there. Okay. Share screen, right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Just another day. I'm just a gigolo wherever I go.
What do we look like? So, okay, because I can't see anything. Okay. So I'm just going to read this. So it's a terrible article. Just how harmful is vaping? More evidence is emerging. A new study that found high levels of heavy metals and popular nicotine vapes adds to concerns about the products. You guys remember that Truth Initiative thing they did back in 2020? And nicotine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nicotine.
When vapes started to become popular in the mid-2010s, the tiny cartridges carried big promises. They were presented as a healthier alternative to cigarettes and a path to quit smoking. Now, researchers are coming to understand the hazards of vapes themselves. In a study from last month, for example, a team of scientists analyzed the mist from popular vapes and found such high levels of heavy metals that one researcher thought their machine had malfunctioned. Other studies have suggested that vaping can affect the heart, lungs, and brains. Okay. Again, you're not actually, and I need to look at these studies to sit there and see what exactly that they did. We know from the formaldehyde and the popcorn lung studies from 2015 that they overheated the devices. So,
yep.
Yeah. Experts said they were worried that vaping may become harder to study after the Trump administration shut down a unit focused on smoking and health. So that would be the CDC's Office on Smoking and Health. I like how they don't actually sit here and say that, focused on smoking and health. You're really lobbying for these people, aren't you, NYT? The government has also slashed funds for programs that help people stop vaping. But what about people who smoke?
Yeah,
nothing.
Data on the long-term health effects is limited. We've had 20 years of data because vapes are relatively new and constantly evolving. Okay, I get the constantly evolving stuff, but we have 20 years, guys. Many people who use them are in their teens or 20s. Not true. It might take a while before further effects become apparent. It's that crap that they're trying to tie it into like smoking because it took 20 years for them to realize that smoking is bad for you. But yet we have this study that when you compare cigarettes to vapes, they're significantly less harmful. And then we got the dual use. Consumers are also, did the CDC fucking write this thing? Sorry. Consumers are also use both cigarettes and vapes, which makes it difficult to isolate harms from vaping alone. Vaping is still less common than cigarette use among U.S. adults. This shit is pissing me off. I got to get on Twitter after this and go after really, you call yourself a journalist? I have data. I have data from numerous places, but 4.5%. They vaped in 2021. Yeah, it's 7.7% in 2023, which was the same number of kids who were vaping in 2023 or 2022 or something. I don't know.
I got something you can use on your Twitter for them.
What?
Get Johnny Cash there.
Yeah, I like that.
Nearly 8% of high school students reported vaping in the last month of a 2024 survey. So why are you comparing 2021 data to 2024 stuff? Okay, because I can tell already that they have preliminary data from the Burfest numbers, and it's going to show that it's probably about 9% of adults are vaping. Watch me. I'll place bets. We're just going to start doing bets on this show with that one. It'll be September when the numbers come out.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Even so, quote, common sense tells you, your mom would tell you that a superheated chemical inhaling right into your lungs isn't going to be good, said Dr. James H. Shine, a professor of cardiovascular medicine at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine. You know what? That pisses me off too, because yeah, I wonder if he did work on Evali, but hold on, we got to get through this. Increasingly, research is pointing to the reality that while vapes do not contain the same dangerous chemicals as cigarettes, they come with their own harms. Cardiovascular concerns. A hit from a vape immediately stresses the cardiovascular system. So does caffeine. Your heart rate rises and your blood vessels constrict.
So does sex.
So does driving in a car, which can stifle arteries in the heart over time. When you vape all day long, over and over again.
Say hi to Jeffrey. Say hi to Jeffrey, ladies.
Jeffrey, you're basically walking around with high blood pressure. Dude, you obviously don't know my life, okay? Have you seen the guys that I've dated? High blood pressure, okay? Dr. Spillane said, these effects could raise the risk of developing an irregular heart rhythm, stroke, and even a heart attack. Okay, yeah, because we've seen an increase in heart attacks. I mean, when vapes heat liquids to higher temperatures, they can release larger amounts of harmful chemicals that can seep into the lungs, enter the bloodstream, and flow into the heart. Said
they are so full of BS.
Yeah, he's a researcher at the University of Rochester Medicine who studies nicotine products. Yeah, with an unbiased eye, obviously. The liquids in e-cigarettes can release known carcinogens like formaldehyde and acetaldehyde, I can't pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. Again, I do the numbers, guys. Okay, I can tell you how to pronounce 4 when heated, and I can tell you that's bullshit. Okay, they can release known, like we know the formaldehyde study that's bullshit.
Why is Lindsey angry?
These are the chemicals. This stuff just pisses me off. Okay, and I'm speaking to the regular layperson at this point. Okay, these are again, they're just making this so confusing. Like no wonder people are idiots. Other chemicals can damage blood vessels, drive inflammation, and contribute to cardiovascular disease risk. When people quit vaping, they can also experience nicotine withdrawal that can increase heart rate and blood pressure, Dr. Stein added. Yeah, you guess what happens when people fucking get opioid withdrawal? That's a hell of a lot worse than that, and it's all approved.
Yeah. Lung
issues. Vaping causes inflammation in the airways and lungs that can become chronic, Dr. Stein said. Can also exacerbate asthma and symptoms of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, that's COPD, and can lead to a persistent cough and shortness of breath. We don't know yet whether vapes cause cancer, which can take decades to develop. We know that they can expose users to substances associated with increased cancer risks. Okay, you guys notice right now, so far, it's all been male doctors, okay? And here comes doctor number 3. Brett Poulin, an assistant professor of environmental toxicology at University of California, Davis, tested 3 popular disposable vape brands, and found that they released high levels of nickel and antimony, heavy metals linked to lung cancer. This team also found that vapes release large amounts of lead and neurotoxin. Again, if you're so worried about this, why aren't you telling the people what brands these are to warn them? Chemicals used in flavored vapes, especially disposable ones, can also damage cell membranes, which increase the risk of lung damage and cancer, as well as heart disease. And oh God, here we freaking go. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Okay, in rare cases, what cases? There's no documented case of a freaking anybody developing popcorn lung.
Exactly.
Never.
Lung scarring and breathing issues known as popcorn lung after inhaling diacetyl or diacetyl, I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, a compound found in some flavor in some flavored vapes. No, major vape brands currently say they do not use diacetyl. NYT lady, if you're listening, that flavor is used to produce a buttery flavor, and I really haven't seen popcorn flavored vapes and since vaping really got started, and people were just doing crazy things like I'm gonna try a pizza vape. It doesn't taste too good. In 2019, outbreak of serious lung injuries, including 68 deaths, was linked to vapes that contain vitamin acetate. Again, you missed the whole illicit vapes part on that. Oral health. As with the cigarettes, pouches, and other products that contain nicotine, vapes limit blood flow to the gums, which makes them more vulnerable to disease and infection. Nicotine can also damage gum tissue. So can candy. We finally got a girl in here. Dr. Pamela Ling, the director of as the University of California, San Francisco. So she works with Stanton Plant Center for Tobacco Control Research and Education. Has worked with teens who sorry, worked with teens who sleep with vapes tucked under their pillows and reach for them for the first thing in the morning. FYI, Stanton, that whole university had to go settle out a sexual harassment lawsuit with Stanton Glass. So the teens who sleep, sorry. Anyways, research has shown that e-cigarettes are addictive. Dependence can be especially problematic for adolescents whose brains are developing. There's still some support programs for quitting, and smoking cessation medications may offer relief. But it can also be an agonizing process, bringing on withdrawal symptoms like depression, anxiety, and irritation. Oh, the reasons why they vape, okay. Compounding those concerns, even more addictive vapes that contain higher levels of nicotine are hitting the market. Dr. Liam said it's now easy to find vapes that have 20,000 puffs of nicotine, an amount rivaling 10 or 100 packs of cigarettes. New products come out on the market. No, it doesn't rival 100 packs of cigarettes, but you can tell people never smoked. New products come on the market faster than we can do the science. No, you guys are just doing the science, so. Sorry, I hope I didn't commentary on it. I couldn't see any of the comments or whatnot on that one, but
yeah,
article. Yeah. Now I know why my PR guy wants me to do an op-ed rebuttal to it. I got it.
It's just this last month almost seems like they got their check from Bloomberg, and they're starting to. Yeah, it does feel that way.
I actually think right now, I have a sinking suspicion that because it is. Let's go to the numbers. Okay, because she gave the 4.5% of adults that were vaping in 2021, which that is correct numbers. I have them. We had I gotta actually click on the full report. That's probably where I'm doing it wrong. All right.
There was a lot of companies that used it. Etnos was one of the companies, and that once they took that.
Okay, so it was Okay, so in 2023, it was 7.79% of adults were vaping. Because I had to put it out like this one because I average up, so it's about 7.8% of adults. It was a 0.4 increase from 2022, and it was 7.76 adults vaping, or percent of adults vaping. So, and that's still that number is higher. Well, it's the same number with the high school students. Well, we lost him.
And I think Tim's not froze.
No, and I'm not froze. I was reading comments in the chat. I think we lost. There's
I'm
John.
back.
John's
I'm
back.
back.
He's back.
I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, but and so in 2023, it was 7.7% of adults that were our youth, our high school students specifically, that were vaping. So that number actually goes down a little bit lower when you're looking at. So you actually did have more adults, a higher percentage of adults vaping. Not crazy higher percentage than youth, but I think in 2024, those numbers are going to be awesome. We just won't have youth. We won't have youth numbers actually. So I mean, I think maybe they're trying to actually just do a campaign to get those youth numbers up for 2025. So behavior survey. So, we can tell you that it's bad and that there's more kids using this. And I know it's very conspiratorial, but I'm sorry, it's hard not to put a tin hat in this industry when you see this device that's helped all of you guys, helped me, and quit smoking. And you're getting from doctors and people who claim that they want to help people quit smoking that are just, it's like they're bastardizing the science. I can't listen to any of those scientists because it's like you're literally taking a study and throwing everything at it to prove your hypothesis. That's not what you do with the scientific method. You make your hypothesis, you set up the experiment, you control all of that. And the idea is that you have to test that hypothesis and test everything against it to make it freaking false, and instead of, we're going to change all of the controls on our experiments so this becomes right.
Yeah.
They bastardized the scientific method, and it's really depressing, actually.
It is, very. I agree.
Because we only had 20.3 million adults vaping in 2023. We had 30.3 of them still smoking. And that number could be eradicated now. We have our young adult numbers again are like, and it shoots down. I have those moving graphs, and I love those moving graphs because it's literally 2016. Do not tell me it was the Tobacco Control Act. Don't tell me it was any of these draconian taxes, indoor smoke-free laws, or any of this stuff. It's literally the advent of a new invention, and that's usually how change does happen, actually. Sorry for the rant, guys.
No, it's perfect. That's why you're here, man. That's why you're here. Hey, it is 1 hour, guys. I didn't got nothing else. You guys have anything else you want to throw out there before we head on out of here, Timmy? I'd ask Lindsey, but I know that's a trick question.
No. I got nothing. I just want to say thanks to everybody for adapting to this shorter program schedule.
Yeah.
But I think, we're still getting enough information out there and sharing enough to kind of keep everybody active and what's going on in the world and locally. So it's a good thing that we don't have that much to talk about, right?
That is right. And
to talk about.
Well, plenty, but I'm just saying, I mean, from an overall perspective, it doesn't seem like,
I think for next week's show, we should I'll reach out to him if you guys are okay with it, having Greg Troutman come on.
Yeah,
we'd love to have Greg on. Sure.
Yeah, we'd love.
And then he's filed the lawsuit, and I know he's working on with the Texas and stuff and everything, so he can kind of but he's got to get into the format. Okay, I've done podcasts with him, and I love that lawyer. Okay, and everything, but God, he can go on and on and on. It's like shut the fuck up. This is not the venue for that. Okay.
He's, he has an official title on this show.
What?
He's our free counselor. Yeah, we call him.
He can make your eyes droop over, and it's like, dude, it's gonna get a shot of tequila. Okay.
He's one though I like to listen to because he brings it down to my level. I am not a lawyer.
Yeah. And we actually, now that I think about it, we actually have. Don't we have a song for Greg when he comes on?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we do, Lindsey. We do.
As a guest.
Yeah, we do. We actually. Here it is, right here.
That does work. I did learn today though that all the there's a lot of songs that are on free domain. So Rhapsody in Blue is free now. You can use it on all your videos.
Yeah. There's a couple of them. Unfortunately, the issue isn't if it's free, but the issue is it free in the country that it's playing in? So it may be free here, but it may not. The Arab nation own a lot of music. So so when you try to play something that they own, they're quick, even 10 seconds of it, and they'll mute it. They'll have you either mute it or delete your video. You get the choice.
Wow.
Yeah. So they'll officially mute it out of the podcast, or you have an option to delete your whole video. Now, why would you delete a whole video? Just mute your 10-second clip.
Yeah.
It's insane. I've been doing this a long time. I've gotten in trouble for saying, "Are you not entertained?" So yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I guess I sounded just like Russell Crowe when I did it, and it got blocked on there. So yeah, that's the life of live streaming.
Publisher, pretty much. Yeah.
Everybody owns something these days. Guys, I'm glad I'm the 1 hour show. I tried to find something positive this week, and I'm glad I found two good positive stories about vaping. Two places that are trying to keep it up and running and functioning and supplying the men and women of those regions, vape and help them quit smoking. So. We will see everybody next week. Thank you, everybody out there in chat. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Lindsey. Thank you, Michelle. And we'll see everybody next Wednesday. Look into the camera and wave goodbye. Bye.
Hi, guys.
Timmy.
Have a good night.
Did Tim freeze? He froze. Tim's frozen.
He froze.
And you know what pisses me off? Look, he freezes in the most perfect. He unfroze. He unfroze.
I'll do it.
It's not my streaming day, apparently.
Tim never freezes with his eyes shut, his mouth open. No, it's always this perfect pose. It's this perfect pose every time he freezes. I hate him. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.